Hello, welcome to the Steel Lab. Today we're going to be talking about playing Western swing on the E9th tuning. And more and more people, it seems like, are switching over to single neck guitars. So the C6 is the fewer and fewer people are playing the C6 all the time. But they still occasionally have reason to want to play some Western swingy sounding kind of stuff. And so the good news is, to a large degree, we can cover a lot of those things on the E9th. We just have to switch our thinking around a little bit from the way we might have approached like traditional honky-tonk type stuff to get over into more like a Western swing kind of mode, if you will. Most everybody knows that the C6 tuning is a lot of time used to play Western swing, and that kind of tells us a little bit of something. It tells us that these sixth chords must be important when it comes to playing Western swing, right? So if that's the case, one of the best ways to approach playing Western swing on the E9 is to real quickly find a whole bunch of ways to play sixth chords. And to explain exactly what a sixth chord is, I'm gonna do this in the key of C. I'm gonna go down here to the 3rd fret with the pedals down, and I'm gonna play strings 5, 6, and 8. A good old C major chord. Just 3 notes, just a triad. But if we were to add the 7th string in with this, and let all that ring together, that is the chord of C6. And you can hear how it kind of sounds like a Western swing tune just by playing those 4 notes all at once. So if we wanted to play some swingy sounding kind of stuff, we could just play those 4 notes and maybe embellish them a little bit by sliding up to them. Right out of the gate, that is a sort of a swingy sounding kind of thing. So just by adding the 7th string into that chord, and we can go up and play the 5th string also, we get a C6 and a nice swingy sounding chord. Now another thing that happens a lot of times in Western swing is very big chords that are 4, 5, 6 notes. So we need to get used to the idea of taking our thumb and raking several strings at once. So I'm going to set my fingers up here on strings 4 and 5, and then I'm going to let my thumb rake from the 8th string, and it's going to rake 8, 7, and 6, and I'm going to kind of brush and play all those at once. Nice big C6 chord. So real quick, let's talk about some other places where you can play that kind of chord. If you went up to the 8th fret where C naturally occurs, and you just added the A pedal by itself, you might think to yourself, well boy, that looks like an A minor chord. Well, it is an A minor chord, but here's the thing, the chords of A minor and C6 are basically interchangeable. They're all made up out of the same notes. So this A minor chord up here, with just the A pedal at the 8th fret, sounds like it fits very nicely with that C6 chord down here. Play some stuff in one position, go up to the other. All sounds like Western swing, right? Okay, well there's got to be more than 2 places to play this kind of chord, right? And there is. If we were to go down here to the 1st fret and lower the E strings, there again is that C6th chord. Here's C6 at the 1st fret with the E's lowered. Here's the exact same strings at the 3rd fret with the pedals in. Same chord, just moved up an inversion. Now we can go up here to the 8th fret with the A pedal. And we can take that little chromatic approach idea we did on all of those. Sounds very C60, sounds very Western swingy, right? Now, what if some other chords happen? Say the next chord in our little tune we're playing here happens to be the 4 chord, or it happens to be F. A lot of times in swing, the 4 chord gets used as a 7th chord, kind of a bluesy sounding chord. And one of the ways that we could play something like that, for an F or an F9th chord would be moved up to the 11th fret with just the A pedal. And all of a sudden that sounds like F, 7th or F9th. So here's some stuff that sounds like the 1 chord at the 8th fret. Here comes the 4 chord. We just move up 3 frets with that pedal. And then if we needed to go to the 5 chord, we have all kinds of choices. We can either just move up 2 more frets, or we can go back here to the 10th fret with the pedals, or to the 8th fret with just that lever lowering the E's. We could add the B pedal in there if we wanted to make that a 7th chord. And then pick one of those places for a nice bit of resolution. So here's the 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 5 chord, and the 1 chord again. That stuff sounds very much like classic Western swing steel guitar, and we only used about 3 positions to find all those chords, and now we have a bunch of options for places to play them.
See the equipment our pros use at the best prices anywhere online. Support small business and save.